Hey everybody, Fred Christian. Hey everybody, this is Fred Christian, disabled community activist and founder of hashtag Impact at Impact Media here with you today. I got a real concern and a story. In 2013, I started my advocacy journey to try to get people health care in Florida because I didn't have it. I was one of the people who went from age of 16 to the age of 50 without health care. So in 2013, in between that time, I started to try to fight for Medicaid expansion when it was done through the ACA. And rough fight. Florida did not want to expand it. Fortunately, we got 41 of 50 states that did expand it. But right now, we're in for the fight of our lives. And literally is our fight, the fight for our lives. Because right now, the budget in the U.S. House and U.S. Senate is going to have drastic cuts or dramatic cuts, depending upon wording, to Medicaid. I need my health care to live. Several others need their health care to live. So I'd like you all to get out there and start to make some phone calls to your congressmen, to your senators, and tell them how important it is to get Medicaid and keep Medicaid. You don't want to see people dying. Just remember the scene in 2017 when President Trump tried to cut the ACA or Obamacare, and the DAP came to the rescue, and they flooded the halls of the Senate, they flooded the halls of the House, and they got arrested to stop it. And John McCain said no at the end of the day, and the bill died, and 52 million people kept health care. I'm hoping and praying that we can get a miracle, and someone will step up and say no this time, because we need to say no. We all need to say no. Health care is too important to lose. Having it is too important to lose. Keeping it is too important to lose. This is no joke. Let me tell you the truth. I had asthma from the time I was 16 to the time I was 50. Still have it. Okay? Had allergies too. My dad, my family members had to pay for my bills because I was one of those people that was deemed a pre-existing condition when legally they could do that and not let you have insurance. Now they can't with the law, with the ACA. Thank goodness. But we're going to go back to those times again with pre-existing conditions and all kind of stuff where people won't pay for things, which is not good. There's another factor in this, why you need to care about healthcare, why you need to care about Medicaid, and why you need to care. So, for me, it started in 1986. And forgive me if I skip around, but I'm going to just tell you how it started right now. It started in 1986 for me. As a 16-year-old kid, my dad drove me. We were outside of Ocala, Florida, to Monroe Regional Medical Center. And I was very, very scared because I was choking to death. I didn't know what was going on. Turned out I had an asthma attack. Now imagine being a 15, 16-year-old kid and hearing your father having to beg to save your life because they're haggling over a bill. I heard that, and it stayed with me to this day. Some like 40 years later, it still stayed with me. Shouldn't stay with anybody. Nobody should have to beg for care. And if we cut Medicaid, we're going to be begging for care, and we're going to be begging for our lives again. This is inexcusable. So I'm going to ask you again, make the phone calls, send the emails, do what you have to do in terms of phone calls, emails, telling a friend, word of mouth, to have hands off our Medicaid and hands off our health care in general. We need to keep this together, and we need to stop this awful attack on healthcare. Because there's a lot of sick people, and a lot of sick people could die without healthcare. One person did die in 2000, I think it was 2015. Her name was Charlene Dill in Florida. And you guys can Google why she died. It was horrific because she needed Medicaid, and they would not expand it in Florida, and they still haven't. And we need to do so. We need to expand healthcare, not take it away. We really do need to expand it, but get out there and make those phone calls. Because I had it, like I said, from the time I was 16 to the time time I got health care, I'm having to beg for care, and nobody should have to beg for care. Nobody really should. No one should have to beg for care in the United States of America. And we're going to go back to those draconian times if we don't watch ourselves. So please, make those calls. For me, for yourselves, for your friends, for your neighbors, for your church family, whoever it is, your coworkers, make those calls. Save those lives. It's the right thing to do. Get involved and say no and say hands off our Medicaid. I'm saying hands off our Medicaid. I made the emails and I made the calls before. I'll make a few calls today or tomorrow too. There's no reason to do this. Please keep our care. Because I'll put it this way. When I got Medicaid, it actually saved my life. Because I'm now diabetic. Had I not had Medicaid, I might not be talking to you today. So I'd like you to leave you with that thought. Some of you that support me, I thank you and appreciate you. But please, make the phone calls. Get involved. Thank you all, and God bless.